am J.C. Brown, a graduate student studying Library and Information Science at Wayne State University. I'm here today to introduce an absolutely captivating book which I couldn't put down, Peak by Roland Smith. From the book's jacket. When 14-year-old Peak Marcello's long-lost father presents the opportunity for them to summit Everest together, Peak doesn't even consider saying no, even though he suspects there's a few strings attached. And if he makes it to the top before his birthday, he'll be the youngest person ever to stand above 29,000 feet. It's not a bad turn of events for a guy who's been stuck in New York City with only skyscrapers to illegally scale. Here, in Peak's own words, is the exhilarating, gut-wrenching story of what happened on the climb to the top of the world. A climb that changed everything. Welcome to Mount Everest. Peak fits neatly into the both adventure and sports genres. Topics and subjects explored in the book include coming of age, mountaineering, teenage boys, Mount Everest, China and Nepal, as well as survival. I was only 2/3 up the wall when sleet started to freeze onto the black terracotta. My fingers were numb, my nose was running. I didn't have a free hand to wipe my nose or enough rope to rappel about 500 feet to the ground. I had planned everything out so carefully, except for the weather, and now it was uh-oh time. A gust of wind tried to peel me off the wall. I dug my fingers into the seam and hugged the terracotta until it passed. I should have waited until June to make the ascent, but no. Moron has to go up in March. Why? Because everything was ready, and I have a problem with waiting. I studied the wall, built all my custom protection, and picked the date. I was ready. And if the date passed, I might not try it at all. It doesn't take much to talk yourself out of a stunt like this. That's why there are over 6 billion people sitting safely inside homes and one moron, I shouted. I heard there are 3 people up at ABC with HAPE. They're coming down tomorrow. Well, they're luckier than the guy who died on the south side yesterday, stepped out of a tent in the middle of the night to pee. Idiot was wearing slippers. He slid 200 yards down the slope into a crevice so deep the Sherpas say he's probably still falling. He should have been wearing crampons. Or at least carrying his axe so he could self-arrest. Self-arresting has nothing to do with law enforcement. It's one of the first things they teach you in mountaineering. If you start sliding down an icy slope with nothing to grab onto, you'd better know how to stop yourself by digging in your crampons or punching your axe into the ice and hanging on for dear life. All steep slopes end badly, in trees, solid walls, or deep holes. Screaming in terror doesn't slow you down one bit, one of my instructors told me. If you want to live, you'd better learn to avoid the void. Self-arrest wasn't my best climbing skill. Hearing about the guy dying because he stepped out to go to the bathroom made my skin crawl. The main character, Peak, can be described as the innocent embarking on a journey archetype, which is commonly found in fantasy and the currently popular genre of dystopian fiction. Peak's adventurous personality, coupled with the Everest climb, makes for a powerful read that even the most reluctant of readers is sure to enjoy. School Library Journal recommended this book for grades 6 and up, and I found the book appropriate for anyone, including adults, looking for a riveting page-turner. Awards this book has received: ALA Best Book for Young Adults, ALA Quick Pick for Reluctant Young Adult Readers, New York Public Library Book for the Teenage, Book List Editor's Choice, National Outdoor Book Award, and the Junior Library Guild Selection. Read-alikes for Peak by Roland Smith include Sasquatch by Roland Smith, My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George, Hatchet by Gary Paulson, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and Trapped by Michael Northrup. If you like this book, it can likely be found at your local library. However, if they don't own it and you happen to live in the great state of Michigan, you can borrow it from another library. How might you ask? Simple. By visiting Michigan eLibrary at mel.org, mel.org, where you can simultaneously search hundreds of libraries all at one time. Pretty awesome, I know. All you need is your library card on hand. If you run into trouble, you can always ask the librarian for assistance. In fact, many libraries will offer to do
Get it!